you are like someone who came from another planet or something. You don't know what to do, how to do. I'm saying, oh, my father, probably I will not see you anymore, or what will happen, who or us or both of us will be killed very soon. I don't have a right to vote. I have to right to vote Serb.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. Welcome everyone back to the Project Ihya podcast. This is your host Asad Khan with Hafiz Musab Qazi, and alhamdulillah, today we have a very important and esteemed guest with us, Professor Senahid Halilovic. Professor Senahid, welcome to the program once again.
Thank you for hosting me once again.
So nowadays we hear a lot about we hear the word genocide a lot, especially as it relates to Palestine and Gaza. We thought it would be important to bring on a guest that has actually lived through a genocide, and Professor Senahid is one such guest. He was in Srebrenica during the genocide, which took place in July of 1995, in which close to 9,000 or 8,300 or 8,400 Bosnians, mostly men and boys, were killed. And one of the few survivors also of what is famously referred to as the road of death, in which those people who were trying to escape from Srebrenica had to walk through the front line 60 miles, no food, no water, through the mountains. So he comes with a lot of I guess very important experiences that and lessons that he can share with us, inshallah. And there's a lot of questions that we have and we may have. So inshallah, we're going to jump right in. Before I start, I'm going to ask Hafiz Musab Qazi if he has anything to add, and then we'll start the interview.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So I would also like to extend my welcome to Professor Senahid. And like Mona Asadullah mentioned, Professor Senahid, he himself is a survivor of that genocide, and he was one of the people who survived what is known as what he mentioned as the road of death, where he had to go through basically go through the mountains and for 1 week without food and drink, and like extreme situations to survive. So not many people survived that, but Professor Senahid is one such person who did, and he firsthand saw what transpired. And so inshallah, I'll turn it back to Mona Asadullah, and we will go from there.
So I guess the first question, given that, one thing I didn't mention in the beginning was that Professor Senahid has also written a book on his experience called The Fate of Srebrenica. So I guess we can start off with the first question by asking you to share your personal story and experience during the actual genocide. I know that's a big question and there's a lot to unpack there, but however you feel and however you want to go about it, inshallah, if you can just kind of give us your experience a little leading up into it, and then the experience through the genocide itself. You can, the floor is yours.
Yes, but as I conclude, I see that a lot of people misunderstand the genocide in Srebrenica. And people think that genocide is happened on July 11, from July 11 to July 19. So by my opinion, in reality, it's not like that. So as you saw before, I would like if you could to share the Bosnian map, and I will show you what happened before then it happened genocide in Srebrenica. So that's definitely happened genocide to the other city what are surrounding the Srebrenica before then. So now, okay, I am going to explain, but you see over here, my pointer over here is Srebrenica, right? So on the right side over here is Serbia. This is River Drina, and it is no, that's fine. That's good enough. Yeah. And this is River Drina, and the east side over here is Serbia. That's fine. Yeah, leave it like that. And I could explain, and I will tell you exactly. I know points where is what city. So all that area in 1992 when started war, and war
By the
started.
way, we're not able to see if you're pointing with your mouse. We would not be able to see that on the screen. So you'll kind of have to mention where you're intending.
Yes, but what about people who are watching?
Yeah, they will not be able to see your mouse where you're pointing. So you'll have to kind of mention what area you're talking about.
Okay. Yes, I'm talking about Eastern Bosnia when it is started war. And the war started because in March 1st, I mean 29 February and March 1st, Bosnian people declared independence of Yugoslavia. And all parties, only one party, and the Serb party, Democratic Party, they are boycott independence. And they said, we as a Serbs, we are going to stay in Yugoslavia. Okay. And in that time, army of Yugoslavia used to be JNA, I mean Yugoslav People Army, but in reality that wasn't Yugoslav People Army. That mostly used to be Serbs officers, and that's why they grab all weapons, airplanes, tanks, and everything with them. And when Bosnia declared independence, with 64% of people say yes, we are going to be independent. And war started with Yugoslav army and Serb paramilitary units, which was supported with Yugoslav army. They were very armed, and the people in Bosnia and Herzegovina, especially Bosniaks, we didn't have any weapons. We have just some people, they have a weapon like a hunting weapon, but it is nothing comparing to airplanes, comparing to tanks, comparing to the... And they start to, when they start to expel and kill civilians and everyone, especially in eastern part of Bosnia. So the area from Foča, city Foča, Visegrad, city Rogatica, Milići, Vlasenica, Zvornik, that's all area close to the river Drina, they ethnically cleansed. Before then happened genocide in Srebrenica. But in Srebrenica, people somehow organized and they tried to defend. I mean, they try to defend Srebrenica and they fight with Serbs army. So
there was a series of massacres in all of these places before Srebrenica actually
yes, but not massacres as it was in Srebrenica on July 11. It was a lower intensity. So that's all. And that areas, I mean, that cities, Bosniaks used to be majority. Somewhere 65, somewhere 70, 75% of Bosniaks, and no village, no individual house stay. So it was burned, and all people who are used to be killed, whoever they find, and a lot of people expelled, and a lot of people came to the Srebrenica as to find a place to survive from that cities.
So like refugees almost.
Refugees, yes. And in 1992, in May, for example, Srebrenica had around 55,000 people. And it was small city, just city had before like 5,000-6,000 people, but whole municipality around 37,000 people. All right. So, but lot of people, when started war, they go somewhere to the Tuzla, Sarajevo, and other countries. And in April, I mean, in the beginning of May, it used to be just half of population in Srebrenica, less than 20,000. But after that, on the end of May and June, people are expelled from another city and come as refugees in Srebrenica. And Srebrenica used to be as camp. So what does it mean? All area around used to be controlled by Serb forces, and east part used to be Serbia. So that I call it open camp. But you couldn't go anywhere without electricity, without food, without water, without anything. We start to struggle in beginning on war. And every day the Serbs grenade us. And during the war in Srebrenica, before 11 July 1995, in Srebrenica used to be killed 3,166 persons by name.
So it sounds a lot like what's happening right now, even in Gaza, where it started off with a blockade. They don't let water, they don't let food, they control everything.
Absolutely correct. No electricity, no food, no anything.
Wow.
And they every day attacked, and including airplanes and bombing with grenades and shooting and try to entering in Srebrenica. And as I told you, people say that in Srebrenica killed 8,372. Yes, by committee after July 11. But before then July 11, when we include 3,166 persons, that's mean 11,538 persons by name and last name. Okay. So, and as I said, Srebrenica defended, and they couldn't enter it. And in 1993, Serbs forces used to be very close to entering Srebrenica. And in that time, the army of Bosnia and Herzegovina, commander of army of Bosnia and Herzegovina, made agreement with Serbs to stop, and international forces, UNPROFOR also, and that Srebrenica declared to be protected zone. So what does it mean? The army of Bosnia and Herzegovina is supposed to be disarmed, and Serbs supposed to be move artillery, tanks and cannons and that things around Srebrenica, and no any movement, no military, no fighting anything around. And it is coming UNPROFOR, international forces which are going to protect Srebrenica. And the Canadian battalion did really in 1993 in April. They came, and in that time stop, not stop 100%, but it was much better. But we still didn't have electricity, but they UNPROFOR passed some resolutions that we have to get the food, some medicine also we really did, but not electricity. And we get also some clothes, and it wasn't so terrible as was before. And also intensity of fighting, bombing, it was much less than before.
If I may ask, how old were you around this time?
20, 21.
Okay.
And
yes.
And how was just from a first person point of view, how was your outlook going through that? There was no electricity, and
No, that is in the beginning. Everything is very hard. You are you are like someone who came from another planet or something. You don't know what to do, how to do. You just as a dream. You cannot believe, and you are in a situation that you thinking how to survive. So that's electricity, and that things are becoming by time, little by little, not important. Is most important thing is fear. because everyone was in situation that is, oh, I am today in life, probably tomorrow I will not be, or next hour I will not be, or you or anyone.
Wow.
So that
because it is every moment grenades and bombing airplanes, and you never know who is going to be killed today or tomorrow or next hour. So that was like that.
Remind the viewers of, you know, what's happening right now in Palestine. It sounds like you're describing that situation, because they, you know, in Palestine right now was I saw a video where they were talking about how 24 hours a day you can hear the drones, and nobody knows in the next moment if I'm going to be alive or if I'm going to be dead. So I mean, it sounds very, very, you know, it's almost like a repeat. These things, they sound very similar situation.
Yes, but yeah, and
so you say fear
I
was
don't know how. I don't know really how to explain it, how to describe it, because I know that it is just you know, when you are hungry, when you are it's in your mind is coming that is not important. Sometimes I thought, and a lot of people also, I believe that they thought it is not important to be in life, because it is no sense. No, there is no any reason to be in life. You are hungry, you are without electricity, you are looking at your relatives, somebody dying, you are listening grenades, you don't know who is going to be die tomorrow, who is going to be die next week or next hour. And sometimes you wish, oh God, take me. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, you know, actually there's a quote here by Radovan Karadzic. I think that's how you say his name. He was one of the people that were involved in that, Radovan. And he said that, or he gave a directive to the military, and he told them, and I'm quoting him, create an unbearable situation of total insecurity with no hope of further survival or life for the inhabitants of Srebrenica.
Right.
This was his directive. And
yeah, that was during when was the last attack. I mean, when it was genocide happened. Yes.
So that final.
Yeah, but it's very interesting, and it is very. It is. I suppose to mention is yeah, in 1994, a Canadian battalion was switched with Dutch battalion, and after that, the humanitarian aid started to come rarely, and
battalions.
And I don't know why, but that was probably politics from someone, and definitely someone wished that Srebrenica not exist anymore, because it was territory which one Srebrenica and Žepa as enclaves, that territories make problem for compact territory of Republika Srpska, what Serbs try to get it. And we got less aid. And I remember, for example, that was summer 1994 when we need something to eat, and they sent us ovens in the summer. They sent tables or something like humanitarian aid, and they say, oh, today in Srebrenica came like 100 tons of humanitarian aid, but they don't say what. You understand that is tables, ovens, and that things what is not useful in that time. We don't need it. And we need food, we need salt, we need something, you know. So, and the people start to be hungry again. And in 1995, but it's also very important to mention that in 1993 resolution by United Nations Security Council was that no any military movement, no anything could not happen, because Srebrenica is safe place, and later it is declared to be demilitarized place. That means no weapons inside, nothing, no war, no fighting. But in July 4th, 1995, Serbs attack enclave of Srebrenica.
So they hadn't really demilitarized it like they were saying.
I mean, mostly yes, but the Serbs attack from outside.
Outside, yeah. So they
But they didn't.
internally, though.
Yeah, it's not supposed to. They didn't. Nobody allowed them. That it was a safe zone.
Mm.
And in July 11, I mean 10 July, when they was very close to the city, UN representatives said that NATO is going bombing them. But it was fake. Really, that was bombing with only one airplane and two bombs, two rockets somewhere in the forest. That's it. So the Srebrenica felt definitely in the Serbs, I mean Mladic's hands in July 11. And in that time, the people, a lot of people go to the UN base in Potočari. Potočari is a village close to Srebrenica, probably 3 kilometers between Srebrenica and Bratunac. And women, children, but people who used to be adults and boys over 15 years old, and I mean a population of men's and boys, they decided to not go to the UN base. And we know if we go to the UN base that Serbs army will disarm UN base. What was in reality, it happened in reality. They disarmed them because Dutch battalion put down weapon, and they come in and they did whatever they wish. And we knew that. That's why we decided to go through that road of death. And it is territory what we have to pass from Srebrenica to Tuzla or Zvornik is around like 60 miles through mountains and through forests. And it's around the 14, by my opinion, nobody knows exactly. The people manipulated from 12 to 15,000 people start to go in column. But we were attacked and we always come to the bush of Serbian forces. They attack us with artillery, grenades, and with rifles. And many people didn't make it. So some people came back and go to the Žepa, because Žepa used to be free territory. It was enclave also when close to the Srebrenica. I mean, it is not so close, like probably 25, 30 kilometers far away. But not too much people, they pass. And I used to be one of lucky that I passed. And I passed to the free territory what the army of Bosnia and Herzegovina controlled between the first people. It was after 6 days and 6 nights of walking.
If I may, I'd like to go to, I know the massacre that happened, it was from the 11th to the 19th, right? Like in that specific event.
Right.
Or so is famously known. I'd like to take you personally to June 10th, right? Or July 10th. Can you narrate like your first person version of events from July 10th or 1 or 2 days before until the point where you were safe? You know, when you were aware that the Serbs are coming and exactly how you, you know, spent those days. So I'll just hand it over to you.
Okay, on July 10th, it was murmurs that we are going to be still saved and the NATO will react. And the people talk and say, oh, everything is going to be fine. That's they will be stopped. They will be bombed because there are resolutions of UN and nobody can touch this. This is safe zone and something like that. But in reality, me, in that time, I deeply didn't believe that. But I didn't too much talk with people because in that time it was very dangerous to talk. People used to be nervous and people don't trust, don't believe each other, and people used to be hungry and people don't know what to do, you understand? So that's why I silently observed situation, but deeply in myself I didn't believe that. I mean, I believe there is possibility that they will be stopped, but I saw before in May, in April, and in previous years, the Serbs used to be shelling and send grenades and kill some people, but UN didn't take actions. They just help. They take injured people, help them, give them, bring them to the hospital or something like that, but they didn't do anything to stop Serbs to shelling.
Wow.
And that's why I didn't believe too much that they are going to be stopped.
And what was your family's attitude? Like, what did they also share the same opinion? Because of course you must have been very young, so you were 20 years old. Your opinion may not have held as much weight as some of the elders in the family or in the community, right?
Yeah, but you know that in that situation, that is when you see that is, and I mean most of people, they feel, including me, that is something bad will happen. And the people communicated through, I mean, with eyes. People didn't talk too much. For example, in my family, I didn't talk too much with my father. I just look at him and he looked at me, and we understood each other. So when I look at him, when he looked at me, he understood that I'm saying, oh, my father, probably I will not see you anymore, or what will happen, who or us or both of us will be killed very soon, or something like that. You understand what I mean? So that was terrible situation, and really, especially when you are living in one place and you have your friends, you have your family, you have everyone, you thinking that, oh, today is like this, tomorrow maybe I will not see anyone or they will not see me. Yeah, that is really terrible situation, and it is not easy to explain it, and it is not easy to understand it, but definitely in that moments brain is working very fast. Brain is working very fast.
Yeah, I don't think most people can imagine that mindset. I don't think most people, because they've never been in that situation, so they can't really. It's hard for us to even wrap our mind around what that must feel like.
Oh, what people?
I'm saying most people, the situation you're describing, most people, we can't even wrap our head around what that must
feel like. Right. Definitely, yes. And in July, so in July 11, when the Serb forces entered Srebrenica.
What time was that in the day?
That was in the morning, in July 11.
And what were you doing at that time?
In that time, I prepare myself to go on the road of death.
So this was,
and I just and my mother, she went to the UN base, and my mother and my sisters-in-law with young children, they are going over there, and I just say goodbye to mother, and I said nothing else because I couldn't talk. I didn't have words. I didn't have any word to say anything. I just say goodbye.
like, so is it you couldn't talk? It was just the emotional. It was too overwhelming, and
it was very, very, very emotional moment that you know that it is very hard to survive, but you cannot say. And if I thought in that moment, if I say anything, I could make worse situation to emotionally, to her, to me, to anyone. And that's why I know when you try to say something and words are coming in through and no go out, it's better don't say anything.
So this was this like a were there, because I would imagine what I was thinking is like the road of death, maybe families together, they all went, or it was something like individuals, like you went on your own. Did other people from your family join you, or was this like an individual decision? Was it a family decision that you will go, or was it
that yes, as I told you, that decision was that my sisters-in-law with the children and my mother go to you, and my father go to the UN base.
Okay.
And me and my three brothers, we decide to go through road.
Okay.
Because and we said to each other when we start to go is better, but probably was wrong. I don't know. We agreed that it is better that we are not close to each other, because more possibility to survive. But otherwise it was maybe bad decision in the case that someone injured or something. Is the best that you have your family close to you that's to help you. But our decision was not together.
Survival.
Yeah.
So on the morning of the 11th, the Serbian army comes in, and what time do you leave? If you can continue from that point.
I left house in the evening before then sunset. I mean everyone from my village and from my place, and it was night. During the night, we arrived in the place when we are started to go to road, and we started to walk in the morning on the 12th July, probably like 4 o'clock. And as I said, that was yes, from Srebrenica, we supposed to go from Srebrenica, we supposed to go to the Tuzla, and it all territory, as I'm telling, all territory was controlled by Serbs. So
was it north, south, east, or west from here?
It was north.
North. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and what was the end destination?
The end destination was the territory of Tuzla. Tuzla over here. Oh, you have it.
You had it right there.
Here. Yes. I mean that there is some territory, free territory, what army of Bosnia and Herzegovina controlled in municipalities Vornik, but it is close to Tuzla, probably 20 kilometers, 20, 25, 30 kilometers from Tuzla. And we started to walk, And the first day of walking, we were attacked by grenades, by rifles, and after that, little by little, the Serbian soldiers, they come in between us, and they used to be clothes mostly as we did, and they lie and try to take a people, and for example they say, okay, I know where is, because a lot of people didn't know direction where to go. And after grenades and after something, and someone come to you and say, okay, I know path, and I am going to show you path. And 100, 200, 300 sometimes people, they follow him or follow them. That sometimes is group of them, and they bring them somewhere in a Serb village or somewhere when there are Serbs ready to kill them, and they capture and kill them. And that was all the time during that road.
Wow. So the massacre that happened, the eight, around 10,000 people, were they mostly killed on the road of death, or were they mostly killed, in the village?
No. Some people killed, I mean minority. I mean, I cannot say exactly numbers. Probably 1,000 people killed during in the road. Oh. But other people, they captured, as I say, they captured, and they bring them and put them in some camps. I mean, in that time wasn't school, because it was no schooling, because it is summertime. Put them in the schools or somewhere places, and some people wait for 2 days, 1 day, 3 days, and they didn't know. I mean, they know what will do, but they didn't know how exactly to kill them and hide. And a lot of people used to be on different territories. Some people by buses used to be returned to the Bratunac, that is a city close 10 kilometers to the Srebrenica. Some of them used to be in the municipality of Zvornik, schools and different schools, usually school or somewhere. And they take 10 by 15, 20, 30 people and use a rifle and kill them, group by group. And that's why we have a lot of mass graves. We have a lot of mass graves, and they hide that. And now, for example, still around 1,000 people is missing. No one know where they are, and they didn't find in the mass graves. And a lot of mass grave is discovered. But when it is mass graves started to be discovered, and people start to dig and take bones of people with DNA, and we recognize who is who with DNAs, right? And that, after that, they start to hide the bones. They dig with machines, mass graves, and remove bones. For example, you could find one bone in municipality in Srebrenica, another one for the same person, another one 80 kilometers in municipality on Zvornik, another one in municipality, 3 bones, 1 person, 3 different graves.
So they were trying to hide the bones.
Right, because they tried to hide the bones to say that they didn't do genocide. That's happened right now, still happen after 1995, 2000, when it is started to find bones, they start to hide bones.
Wow.
So for example, you have a mass grave, like 200 people killed, and in one mass grave, and someone whisper and know, oh, it is discovered, and there is committee, there is people who are come to duck it and take bones and take DNAs and recognize who are people killed in. When they hear that, they duck bones and remove somewhere. And it is genocide on the dead people. genocide happened in the people who are in alive 1995, but it's still genocide on dead people. Can you imagine that?
Subhanallah. That's insane.
Yep.
So how was once you left, and you mentioned that there were people who lied from the Serbs to try to get the people who are traveling to like a Serbian camp or somewhere where their forces are, so they can kill them. Did you guys also face such a situation?
Yes, but when you discover that they are somewhere around, or you try to escape, and or wait to night, no move, and it's use forest or invisible territory that you pass. And sometimes I face, for example, situation that we knew that they are in front, and one hill what we could pass for half an hour, probably 1 hour maximum, we used to walk all night. We go left, and come back to go around. That's so far that that they don't notice that we are over there.
And how many people were in your group?
So that was a lot of people. Definitely, we started to go as a united column, and we supposed to go like that. But a lot of times that column is broken, and people are divided onto groups, 150, 300, like something like that. But my group used to be a big group, and I'm not sure how many, but definitely over 1,000 people.
Wow. And your brothers were in a separate group, you said?
Yes. So I saw my brother. One of them I saw in July 12. That was probably 3:00. And he was promised me that our decision was wrong. And he promised me that we will go 2 by 2, our 4 brothers. I mean 2 by 2, 2 together and 2 separate.
Yeah.
I mean 2 groups by 2 brothers. And we were waiting for another 2 brothers, and unfortunately they didn't come, and we again separated, and I never saw anyone anymore.
Oh my God, ya Allah.
So,
and they find in graves 2 of them. Second one and third one find in the same grave, and first one, I mean oldest one, he find in separate grave. And they are buried in my father is also find in grave. He was in Potočari in the base camp, and he was separated from my mother when he tried to go enter in a bus. All men, I mean boys of 12 years, 10 years, 16 years, and all males used to be separated, and they are killed. So, by my opinion, around 2,000, I mean, probably over 2,100, 2,200 people in a camp of Potočari, separated from families and killed, boys and men. But other people that they are captured and killed and thrown in mass graves, as I said before, or they are killed directly in the roadway.
How many of your relatives did you lose?
I never know. My mother told me once that I lost 70 my close relatives. I know my first relatives. I mean, my aunt's sons, my uncle's sons. We are 19, and my brothers, my father and my brothers. I lost 19 first relatives. my aunt's sons, my uncle's sons. So, but second, I lost, including first, is around 70, and I never count them. I tried in 1996, 1997 several times to do it, but I couldn't. When I am counting, I count until 30, until 40, and emotionally, I blocked. My body start to shake, and I cannot to think. And I decide to not do it, but my mother told me once, "Oh, my son, you lost 70 relatives."
That kind of brings me to one of the other questions that we had, which was that what were some of the most challenging moments you faced during that genocide, and how did you cope with it?
I don't know. Once, most dramatic, that there is one weapon what it's called Praga. It is like bullets, like 30, 40 millimeters. It is a anti-airplane weapon, and they used to shot us. That they used to that weapon they used to during the road of death. And when that weapon shot several times, I feel how it is just come next to my arm or next to me. I'm feeling hot. That was very terrible moments. And also it was nothing comparing when I came on the free territory. In that I was aware what really happened and what will and how life will be in the future. When I saw that a lot of children without fathers, and no economic situation is good, and we used to be refugees, no job, no anything. And that was days when I suffered too much. My mother, she cried every day. And in my heart, it was very, very difficult to manage it. And I didn't know what to do. And I always like to be outside, not together with her. And fortunately, Dayton came. I mean, the peace became, and I decided to study. And I said myself, if I keep my thoughts and my body busy, I have a chance. Otherwise, I am going to get crazy. I don't know how to. I don't know how to live with that. I cannot live with that. And really, that was a good idea.
So you focused your mind towards.
Yes, I focus. I focus my mind to another things. Think what to do, how to study, and less think about that, because in that days, Srebrenica used to be taboo tema, and everyone talk about.
So during the road of death, how was the food situation? Because you have like 1,000 people, they're
no food. Some people, if you bring like bread or something, because it was very hot, and it could be only 1 day or 2 days, because it is spoiled bread. I had one bread, big bread, and after 2 days, that bread became like green. But anyway, I eat it, and I eat with my friends. I share, and we eat everything. And I had some sugar and some salt. some sugar and some salt, maybe like 50 grams and 50 grams. And that 100 grams altogether, sugars and salt, I survive with that one. But some people, they used to eat leaves. They used to eat grass or something, you know. But later people, but as I told you, I was lucky and I came in the first group on free territory. But a lot of people stay over there for months, 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. Even some of them, one group stay for 6 months
on the road.
Yeah, in the forest. And that people suffered too much, whoever survived. I know people who came after 3, 4, 5 weeks, and they told me that they eat everything, whatever they find. They used to eat insects or snails or something like that, grass, but I did not. But I saw that some people used to eat leaves from a forest.
How many days were you on the road of death?
6 days and 6 nights.
And how would you guys sleep? And how would you sleep? How was the,
No sleeping. Sometimes when and I told you when we are sitting and no move, definitely you sleep half an hour, 1 hour, whatever it is. But I experienced that I slept when I woke. And I really dream when I woke.
SubhanAllah.
like really?
You really. I watched it in a movie long time ago when I was a child that people who are walking, it is possible to dream it and sleep. But I didn't believe. But I experienced it. It is truth. 100%. I slept, but I don't know how many seconds. Maybe that is 5 seconds, 10 seconds. I sleeping and dreaming. Maybe 1 second. But definitely, I am not aware that I am walking and that where I am.
So extreme, like fatigue and hunger. SubhanAllah, it's amazing. So what is the impact, like the impact now, going forward after the war? You said it all kind of hit you when you came to the free territory. It all, the emotions and everything kind of hit you at that time. But going forward in life now, does it still leave an impact? Are you, a lot of people, when they go through these traumatic experiences, they go through PTSD and things like that. How is it affect? Does it still affect you in any substantial way? In that sense, I mean, I'm sure, of course, it affects you.
Yes, but it is during the time is less and less. Mm-hmm. For example, in the beginning, I was dreaming every night. Every night, I dream something, the road or my friends or my childhood, my school, something. I always, every single day, I dreamed my father, every night, my father, my brothers, my friends, someone. Mm-hmm. How I play, how I swim with them, how I work with something, how I talk. But when I wake up, that was a terrible situation. For 2 hours, I cannot come to myself. Emotionally, I am destroyed because I say my conscience say that is not true. It was dream, and I am feeling as cheated. That's I am cheated. I would like to be that is truth, but unfortunately. So,
sorry, you just cut off for the last maybe 15 seconds, 10 seconds.
I said when I wake up, when I'm dreaming, my father, my brothers, and my friends, whatever I dream, and every night I dream them. When I wake up, I felt terrible because it is not truth. I felt like I am cheated, and emotionally I felt like destroyed. because it is not truth. I saw them in a dream, but I recognize when I wake up that is dream, that is not reality. And it was for years, but little by little, and less and rare, but now I wish to dream, but I cannot. Now when I dream for my father, my brothers, or anyone, my friends, good friends, I'm so happy when I wake up. But I cannot dream, very rare. That's problem is sometimes I'm dreaming, but not too often.
So I think we'll have maybe two more questions, and then
yeah, go ahead.
Let you go. I think question a lot of people may have is that what are some of you've been through this experience, which not a lot of people go through. What are some of the most significant lessons that you learned from this experience, like that you can share with other people? Is there anything that comes to mind, a lesson, some lessons that you would like to share with people?
Yes, definitely. I could say that war is something, the worst that could happen to the human being. Doesn't matter if you have a power or not power. Doesn't matter are you soldier or civilian. Doesn't matter if you aggressor or if you defender. It is better to negotiate for 10 years than do war one day. Because by war, I saw it is not just killing. It is not just bullets and shuttling and grenades and that. Everything what can happen bad to human being is coming war. For example, to us in Srebrenica, hungers. No, and in war you see differently world. You see differently people. And you see who is who in war.
No.
Because a lot of people, they are with two or more faces. And it is easy to have two or more faces when it is everything okay, when it is everything smiley, when you have to eat, when it is no cost you if you lie, whatever is, you understand? But in reality, in a war, you see who is who and how people behave. And it is, God forbid, it is never happened to anyone nowhere, especially Srebrenica.
Can you mention
my lesson? That is my message to the young people.
Yeah, even in Islam, we say that war is kind of one of those necessary. In and of itself, it's something that's very, dangerous. It's
right,
like
but problem is, I can understand how that is deep question and a deep thought. Probably I'm going to make mistake and make sin if I say this. But let's say I don't know how God allowed that innocent people were killed. For example, like in Srebrenica, children, civilians, innocent people. So, but yes, in Quran it says if you kill someone innocent, one person, as you kill all humanity.
And then that's
definitely I know that Islam is against war.
And how these human beings, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them sort of the freedom to chart their way in life, and people, they will cause this kind of havoc. But I think that's more of a philosophical and a theological question we don't really want to get into necessarily. One other question I think we have before we end off is when it all came to an end and there was the agreement at the end to end the war. The date, what was it? The Dayton Agreement?
Yes, that was in a city. Yes, sir.
No, I said after this, I have a couple more questions as well.
No problem. That's okay. Yeah. So agreement in Dayton, it's happened in 1995, and it was negotiation used to be from 1st November to 21st November. And 21st November in Dayton, agreement come up, but it is signed in Paris of 14th December 1995. So that agreement, a lot of people in Bosnia are not satisfied. In that agreement, aggressor, I mean Serbian people and Serbia, reward instead of to be punished, because the territory of Republika Srpska, what is Republika Srpska now, especially Podrinje, eastern part, Serbs used to be minority. Now is ethnically is cleansed. It is Republika Srpska. And in Dayton agreement, only one thing is good with Dayton agreement, because war stopped. But all other things, constitution, right of people, other things are no good. Definitely no good. For example, people are discriminated, but that constitution in Dayton, okay, for example, now we got that we have 3 members of presidency. One has to be Serb, one has to be Croat, one has to be Bosniak. Croat and Bosniak could be voted only in federation, and they have to be from territory of Federation of Bosnia and Herzegovina. You know that is in Dayton, Bosnia administratively divided into 2 entities, Republika Srpska and Federation of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Federation of Bosnia and Herzegovina is 51%, Republika Srpska 49%. Croat and Bosniaks could be voted in presidency from federation. Serb must be voted from territory Republika Srpska. Now imagine 800,000. No, I mean, yes, 800,000 people, Bosniak and Croats, who are expelled from Republika Srpska. For example, me, I am from Srebrenica. I don't have a right to vote. I have the right to vote Serb, not Bosniak and Croat. And I couldn't be voted in presidency because I'm Bosniak in Republika Srpska. It is the same for Serbs in federation. Absolutely the same. If you Serb who are living in Sarajevo, in Tuzla, you cannot be voted in presidency and parliament in Bosnia because you are Serb living in federation. So what does it mean? What does that is message? Is message, if you are minority in entity, go to the majority or go outside. So in other words, if you are Bosniak or Croat, you have to go in Federation of Bosnia and Herzegovina to live, or outside of Bosnia. If you are Serb, you have to go to the Republika Srpska. And I also disagree with that, definitely, because it is leading to separation of Bosnia. I mean, it is leading to new genocide, probably. It is give chance for powers of fascism. Yeah.
I don't know. So I had a couple questions.
Yes.
During during all these extreme situations, right? Can you mention any maybe positives, like how people shared with each other, how they helped each other? Were there any such positives, like in this extreme situation, how people helped each other get through it?
Yeah, that there is a lot of situations, and I don't know that it's coming instinctively or how it is coming. When it is a war, people are more united, and people are more sharing things. And people are, for example, if it's airplanes are bombing or grenade, people when you are by yourself, you have more fear. But when you are close to the people, you think it is easier to survive. And that is when something happen. When something happen, usually and mostly all people come to help. So I know a lot of positive stories and a lot of positive sense during the road of death. I know situation that, for example, people injured men bring for 50 miles, bring him to the free territory, and it is not one. It is not one sample, there is more samples. And also people who had, for example, just one slice of bread, it share it on the 3 or 4 or 5 pieces to give everyone at least one piece just to feel it.
And how much do you think like Islam and the teachings of Islam helped? One is during that time, and one is maybe even after, with like the concept of taqdeer and fate. How much do you think Islamic teachings helped in these situations?
Yes, definitely Islamic teachings, and I said several times, and I'm going to repeat it right now. If I didn't know Islam and if I wasn't Muslim, I don't know what could happen with me during that road and after road, because I got more sabr, I got more understanding by understanding Islam. I don't know what could happen. Definitely, maybe I could be now crazy, maybe dead, maybe whatever is, I don't know. But in reality, I never go to the doctor to see if I'm traumatized. Maybe yes, but maybe I'm not. But it looks like I'm not too much.
So, alhamdulillah, Islam does provide some sort of anchor for a person.
Right. Definitely. And I said, as I mentioned, I said several times, and I'm repeated now, and definitely I think like that. If I am no religion, or if I am differently educated, I don't know what could happen until now.
Yeah, so a couple more questions, and I guess just before that, like I would like to address this point, like why does God allow bad things to happen, right? So the idea in Islam is that this world is a testing ground, right? This world is not a place of reward and punishment. And there's a hadith, subhanAllah, it's very beautiful, that a person who is from a person who lived the easiest life, right? He lived the easiest life, but he was an oppressor, right? He was an oppressor. He oppressed people, and he disobeyed Allah. He will be just made to be dipped in the hellfire once, right? And from just being dipped, he will be asked, "Have you ever seen any luxury?" And his answer will basically be like, "What luxury is? I have no idea." And as opposed to this, on the other hand, there will be a person who suffered in this world. He suffered. He went through hardship, the most hardship anyone can go through. And really, like hearing what you have mentioned, this is really like these are the most difficult experiences a human being can experience. So such a person, but he believed in Allah, he obeyed Allah, right? He will be just dipped in Jannah, in paradise, and he will forget everything. So when we look at this life, we kind of zoom out and we look at life as a continuation, right? That it's not just this worldly life, but even after that, like your relatives, your brothers, your father, all those people, they were killed in oppression, and these people are like shaheed, right? They're like martyrs. So now, or any Muslim, once he passes away, if he is obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, doing good deeds, then in the next life, the reward Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has is so great that the pain and everything, the suffering in this world will be forgotten, and all of us will be united, inshallah. So,
and in reality, in Islam, the concept of a shaheed, somebody who is killed through oppression or in battle, fighting for Islam, so that person, we don't even consider them like dead. And in Islam, we do have this belief that this life isn't the end all. There's a life to come in the hereafter, and it continues. The story continues. There's more to it. There's more that's coming. So it's not the end. This life isn't the end of it. So there is that aspect of it, and any injustice will be, balanced by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's the day of judgment. So all of that will be sorted out and taken care of at some point in when the day of judgment does take place, according to our beliefs.
So before wrapping up, just two quick questions. One is, when did you get reunited with the remaining members of your family, and who were they? How was like, okay, actually, even before that, I'll put my other question first. when you finally reached, like the road of death you completed, and you finally reached, how was that emotion like? And what was that process like afterward? And then after that, how did you finally reconnect with your family? And we can end with that, inshallah. And anything else you want to mention?
Yeah, when I came to the free territory, I had a problem with walking because my feet used to be like not injured, but it was they were wet, and but outside used to be hot, and it goes like how call that in English? Something like that. That's I felt pain.
Just swollen.
Right, swollen. Right, and I was in a ambulance. They helped me. I stay over there for a couple hours, and they let me go. And after that, they told me that a lot of refugees are in airport, in Tuzla airport. That's people are from Srebrenica over there. And I went over there, and I find out that over there is my mother. But it was very difficult to see her.
How did your mother reach there?
There, she came through UNPROFOR, bring her from base of UN base from Potočari. UNPROFOR transported that civilians from Potočari, as I said before, as I mentioned, but that females and children, but mostly males and the boys over 12 separated and killed. Even in the UN base. And I find my mother, but it was very difficult to talk to her, and it was emotionally, I wasn't ready to meet with her, because I know no brothers with me, but we had a hope that they will come later, tomorrow or after tomorrow or something. And when I came, my mother cried and asked, where are your brothers, and do you know anything? And that, you know how it is going. It wasn't easy.
How long did that hope last?
Long time. So every day after that, I was walking like a couple kilometers, because if someone pass on the free territory, they bring them over there. There is a place when they bring them and find them families and send them to the families. And every single day I walk over there to see if anyone came. And groups by 5, 10, 3 people are coming, but no, my brothers. And I used to go all maybe months, more than months. And after that, it's starting to autumn, and in autumn time, that is the weather is mostly like rainy, and rain was because we was an airplane, no house, no anything. And after that, they send us somewhere. They rearrange refugees from air to another places.
So you were staying in a camp somewhere.
Right, and I didn't have a possibility to come anymore to see if someone come, but the people came months later. Yes, always someone came until probably November. Every day, maybe group of 3 or 5 or 7, 2, sometimes individual person came from forest. Over there.
And other than your mother, from your immediate family, did you end up being reunited with anyone else?
Well,
other than your mother, like you mentioned, your father and your 3 brothers, they were killed. were there other people in your family, like your sisters-in-law, their kids, your nieces?
Yes, sister-in-law, their kids, they used to be with mother together.
And did you guys live in the same camp together, you and your mother?
Yes, we did for a couple months, and later we got one house municipality gave us, and we used to live for a year, and later we separate also.
And is your mother still alive?
No, she died 2007.
May Allah forgive her and have mercy on her, inshallah.
Yeah, but she after Srebrenica fell and after happened that genocide, she got diabetes from stress and a heart problem, and she never be good. After 1995 and 1997, she died. But she died in Bosnia. But I came in US 2002. Me and my wife with my child. I had one child in that time. Now I have 3.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah.
Well, Jazakallah khair for giving us your time. Professor Senahid, just for the viewers, he's now a lecturer at the university in New York, City University, I believe it's called, City University.
Yes.
He's a lecturer on chemistry. He's also a lab technician there. And he has a book which he's written called The Fate of Srebrenica. So we'd also encourage the viewers, whoever can get their hands on the book, do order the book. It's on Amazon. You can order it if you want to read it, inshallah. Jazakallah khair for giving us your time and sharing with us your experience. I hope lessons can be drawn from this, and we hope that episodes like this can be avoided. I know the Ummah is kind of going through one right now. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ease the situation for the Muslims in Palestine, what's going on there, and other places in the world as well. We pray for peace in the whole world. And with that, inshallah, I will end. If anybody wants to say anything before.
Yeah, I just wanted to request Professor Senahid, if you have any last words, and specifically being a survivor of genocide, how do you see the situation in Gaza? You're watching the news also. If you could just close off with that.
Yeah, unfortunately, situation is not good, but everything depends of high powerful countries, as it was in Srebrenica too. So now, comparing to that, it is going the same way to me, because if I go back 30 years with my thoughts, for example, we are there. Let me tell you in a minute, just now we have a wrong interpretation about war in Bosnia. In the news, in the United States of America, in everywhere it says, "Oh, Bosnian war or war in Bosnia." No, it is wrong. It was aggression to the Bosnia. And it was a war against Bosnia and Herzegovina and Bosniaks. And that terminology lead little by little that some people deny genocide. As I told you, if there is justice, genocide happened at least in 8 places in Bosnia, at least. Places surrounding of Srebrenica, and also in Sarajevo, genocide happened because it was captured Sarajevo for more than 1,300 days. People couldn't go anywhere, you understand, and without food, without with grenades. And what happened in Dayton? What I said, aggressor rewarded. Aggressor rewarded. And now people, economy is bad. People don't have rights. So I don't know. I mean, all human beings and all we supposed to be united, not only Muslims, but I don't think so. And that is not going in a good way. because politicians and powerful people, I mean country, they do whatever they wish.
Yeah.
Nobody asks people, regular people, and yeah. You could cry, you could be emotional, you could say you this, say that, but not help.
SubhanAllah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. At the end of the day, it's only Allah who can protect us and
change the situation in the hearts.
Yes.
Yeah.
So with that, inshallah, jazakallah, thank you so much for your time. And
thank you. My pleasure anytime, because just of some people deny genocide, and my goal is to educate people about, and I will write more books. One I'm writing right now, and new one is I hope inshallah will be until next 5-6 months. Probably I will publish it, but in Bosnian language first, and I will translate it to the English. But at least next year we will have it in English, I hope.
inshallah.
And let's say to the people what really happened, and
Inshallah.
let's not deny the genocide.
Yes.
Allah, jazakallah khairan.
Looking forward for that book as well, and inshallah, when that one comes out, we encourage everyone to order his current book, and we look forward to the new one as well. And with that, thank you so much, and wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi. All the best. You are very welcome.